Welcome back to Go Homemade. Today, join us as we watch a skilled craftsman carve a unique house into the middle of a small hill, located in a peaceful forest. Watch his creativity and hard work transform the hill into a beautiful house that blends with nature. Let's explore this wonderful journey together. While venturing through the dense forest, the man stumbled upon a hidden clearing, a peaceful and open space surrounded by the untouched beauty of nature. There, his eyes caught sight of a solitary hill, standing like a quiet guardian in the middle of the clearing. Inspired by its charm and potential, he made a bold decision. This hill will become the foundation of his next ambitious project. With nothing but his trusty tools and unshakable determination, he began carving into the earth, digging deep into the hillside. Every strike of his tool echoed with purpose as he set out to transform the hill into a unique underground home, blending human effort with the raw essence of nature. As he dug deeper into the hill, he carefully scooped up the earth, steadily clearing and pushing it away to create space for his vision. With each layer removed, he worked meticulously, shaping the interior with precision. As he carved out the space, he deliberately left a raised platform, a carefully planned detail that would later become the bed of his underground home. His meticulous attention to every aspect ensured that this unique dwelling would not only be functional, but also a testament to his ingenuity and craftsmanship. After carefully shaping the main living area of the underground house, he turned his attention to building a kitchen on one side of the space. He began by cutting a small, deep hole in the wall, which would serve as a fire pit. Understanding the importance of proper ventilation, he dug a narrow tunnel from the outside of the hill, connecting seamlessly to the fire pit to create a smoke vent. But his work didn't stop there. He meticulously carved out features to enhance the kitchen's usability. He carved grooves into the walls, preparing a safe spot for a clay grill. Below and above the cooking area, he carved rails designed to hold sliding doors, envisioning a way to protect the kitchen while maintaining accessibility. Every stroke of his tool showed his dedication to blending practicality with craftsmanship, transforming this simple corner into a well-thought-out and efficient cooking space. To make the space even more functional, he added small recessed niches along the walls. These carefully carved pockets were designed to hold lamps, casting light throughout the home, or to store essential tools and supplies. To aid in transporting materials for his project, he ventured into the surrounding forest to collect small palm trunks. Carefully selecting the sturdiest pieces, he stripped the bark and prepared the smooth, durable stems. He began by sawing them into equal lengths. Precision was key as he worked to ensure each piece was uniform, making the final structure stable and reliable. Once the pieces were prepared, he laid them side by side on the ground, meticulously aligning them to form the base of his design. He took strong, flexible ropes made from natural fibers and began the weaving process. With patience and skill, he threaded the ropes tightly between the segments, securing each piece firmly in place. He double-checked the tension of the ropes, ensuring the mat was not only durable, but also capable of withstanding the weight of the materials he needed to transport. This simple yet effective creation was a testament to his resourcefulness, transforming basic materials from the forest into a practical tool that streamlined his work on the construction site. When the carpet was complete, he carefully lifted it up and walked to a nearby pile of dirt. With focused determination, he began shoveling dirt onto the carpet, carefully balancing the load to avoid overloading it. When the carpet was full, he carried it back to the job site. Once he had gathered enough soil, he took it back to the construction site, then went to the water source to get some. He carefully mixed it with water, kneading the mixture until it became a thick, sticky mud. The consistency was just right, perfect for the task at hand. This mud will be used to coat the walls of his underground home. Once the mud was ready, he began the painstaking task of applying it to the interior walls. He spread the mixture evenly by hand, filling in any gaps and smoothing the surface. The rich earth texture began to take shape, coating the rough stones and soil in a protective layer. This not only made the walls stronger, but also helped insulate the space, keeping it warmer during the colder months. As he worked, the walls of his home slowly transformed into a more solid and refined structure, showcasing the fruits of his hard work and attention to detail. Using the remaining mud, he made a grill. He shaped the mud into a sturdy base. Then, using a wooden stick, he poked round holes, creating evenly spaced holes for the structure of the grill, allowing air to circulate and heat to pass through efficiently. By the way, I also made 2 bases with slides for my kitchen door. The meticulous way he handled each component reflected not only his skill, but also his clear vision for the project. Every detail, from the carefully crafted grill to the precise placement of the sliding door tracks, showcases deep understanding of both design and functionality. His ability to adapt natural resources and tools to create such intricate features demonstrates his mastery of the craft. Every part of the house, thoughtfully designed and executed, is a testament to his dedication, resourcefulness, and foresight. While he waited for the material to harden, he collected thin, flat stones from the surrounding area. With a clear purpose in mind, he carefully carried them back to his underground home. He began the work of paving the walls, starting with the area where he had left a raised platform for the bed. One by one, he arranged the stones, ensuring they fit snugly together, filling the space with a seamless pattern. The stones interlocked perfectly, their natural shapes complementing each other as he worked methodically. Once the bed area was completed, he moved on to the walls, determined to continue shaping his home. He began by spreading a thin layer of mud over each stone, ensuring it was evenly distributed. With great care, he pressed the stones firmly against the wall's surface, one by one, making sure they were securely embedded into the mud. The stones snugly fit together, creating a smooth, solid surface as he continued around the entire perimeter. He worked slowly and methodically, carefully aligning each stone to build up the walls with precision. The process required patience, as he took the time to press each stone into place, ensuring they would stay secure as the structure took shape. The process was slow but precise, each stone and layer of mud adding a sense of permanence and beauty to his home. Before finishing the wall, he paused to focus on the kitchen. He carefully placed the grill and the sliding door tracks in place, making sure everything fit perfectly. The grill was securely fastened and the tracks were precisely aligned so the kitchen door would operate smoothly. He found more stones to complement the structure. He placed 2 flat stones in the designated locations, using them as doors for the kitchen. He tested the sliding motion, ensuring that the door moved easily along the track, opening and closing without resistance. Satisfied with the functionality, he continued to seal any gaps around the door and track. Using the remaining mud, he carefully filled in the gaps, ensuring a tight seal to prevent drafts and ensure the efficiency of the kitchen. With the door and grill in place, he continued to work on the walls. making sure everything was secure and fully functional before he completed the structure. Each step brought him closer to finishing his practical, well-crafted underground home. Finally, he placed the last few stones into the space, completing the layout of the walls and floor. As he did, he carefully checked each stone's position, ensuring there were no gaps or misalignments. He then took the remaining mud and began filling the small spaces between the stones, using it to seal any cracks or crevices. With steady hands, he pressed the mud into the gaps, smoothing it out to create a seamless finish. The mud not only held the stones in place, but also provided extra insulation, ensuring that the walls and floor were secure and well sealed. Once he was satisfied with the coverage, he let everything settle, knowing that the structure was now solid and airtight, ready for the next stages of his underground home to come to life. Once the walls were fully completed, he turned his attention to the floor. He began by spreading a layer of earth across the entire surface, carefully smoothing it out to create a flat, even base. Once the ground was level, he began placing stones on top, just as he had done with the walls. He methodically arranged each stone, ensuring they fit snugly together and created a solid, durable surface. The stones were carefully aligned, their natural shapes complementing one another as he worked, covering the floor with a strong, functional layer. The process was slow but deliberate, as he made sure that each stone was secure and firmly pressed into place. He ventured into the forest, gathering long vines and small, sturdy branches. Once he had a sufficient supply, he began working on the wooden pieces, carefully cutting them into manageable lengths. He then sharpened one end of each branch, making sure the points were even and smooth. The pointed ends would allow the branches to be easily inserted into the ground, creating a stable frame for the structure. After preparing the wood, he began assembling the frame. One by one, he carefully stuck the sharpened ends of the branches into the soil, arranging them in a circular shape to form a cylindrical structure. He took the vines and began weaving them tightly around the wooden frame. The vines twisted and looped through the gaps between the branches, tying the structure together securely. He deliberately left a small gap at the base of the cylindrical structure. This opening was important because it was designed to connect to the chimney of the stove. He carefully placed it over the chimney vent. The structure fit snugly into the upward-facing chimney opening. He began coating the entire outside of the structure with mud, making sure to cover every inch of it. He gathered lush green vines with fresh leaves and carefully climbed to the top of the hill where he built his house. Once he reached the top, he draped the vines over the top, letting them cascade down naturally. The lush green leaves added a touch of life and beauty to the structure, blending seamlessly with the surrounding nature and enhancing the overall aesthetic of his project. He caught a fresh catch. Satisfied with his catch, he returned to his underground home. Once there, he quickly lit a small fire in the kitchen. The warmth of the flames crackled and grew, casting flickering shadows across the room. He placed the fish on the grill, the sizzling sound of the food filling the air as the aroma began to waft. The fish cooked slowly over the fire, its tender flesh absorbing the smoky aroma from the embers below. When the meal was ready, he ate with satisfaction, enjoying the simple yet satisfying meal. Feeling tired after a day's work, he decided to take a rest. The next morning, he set out into the forest to gather large, round logs. Carefully selecting the best pieces, he used his tools to strip away the bark, revealing the smooth, sturdy wood underneath. After ensuring that each log was in good condition, he carefully transported them back to his construction site, ready to begin the next phase of his project. Once there, He used 2 sturdy branches, placing them on either side of the logs to create a stable support structure while he worked on them. With the logs securely positioned on the makeshift stand, he began the delicate task of flattening both sides of the logs. Using a sharp tool, he carefully shaved down the surfaces, ensuring they were smooth and even. The sound of the blade scraping against the wood echoed through the air as he worked meticulously, taking his time to perfect each surface. Once the logs were smooth, he shifted focus to crafting the joints. He carefully shaped the ends of the logs, creating interlocking notches that would allow the pieces to fit together securely. These joints were vital for the strength and stability of the structure. His goal was to create the frame for the doors of his home, a key element in the final touches of his underground dwelling. Each log was prepared with precision, showcasing his craftsmanship and vision for the house to come. He worked tirelessly, focusing all his energy on preparing the logs for the door frame. As he continued, he carefully shaped and adjusted each piece, ensuring they would fit together perfectly when assembled. The ends of the logs were meticulously carved, with each joint custom made to interlock securely. Rather than following a standard pattern, he adapted each connection to ensure a tight fit, carefully fine-tuning the shapes until the logs meshed together seamlessly. Unique, custom-designed joints ensure that the structure will be strong and durable, able to withstand the pressures of time and use, a testament to his craftsmanship and attention to detail. He began by digging 2 holes in the ground, carefully measuring the depth and positioning to ensure they would securely hold the main post of the frame. Along with the ground holes, he also drilled 2 additional holes in the inner walls of the house, preparing them to anchor the horizontal beam that would connect the vertical posts. Once the holes were ready, he hammered the 2 main posts into the ground, fixing them firmly in place. He then lifted the cross beam into place. He carefully inserted the ends of the beam into the pre-drilled holes in the wall. The other end was firmly fixed to the top of the posts. He used wooden nails to secure the joints. The foundation for the door frame was solid, and the structure was beginning to take shape. This step was critical, as it would form the backbone of the doorway, allowing for the door to be hung and function properly. With the basic frame complete, he moved on to making the doors. He carefully sawed the wood into thin, smooth planks, each cut to the size needed to form the door panels. For the joist, he shaped both ends into tapered points, creating notches that resembled small pegs. He arranged the planks side by side, ensuring they fit tightly together without gaps. After positioning them, he placed the horizontal beam across the top of the panels. Using a hand drill, he carefully created holes at the appropriate points, then used wooden nails to fasten the planks and beam together securely. Once the door was assembled, he carefully positioned it into the frame. The unique design of the door allowed him to easily lift and fix it to the ceiling when it wasn't in use, saving valuable space inside the small underground hole. This clever approach not only optimized the space, but also made the door functional and versatile, offering both convenience and practicality. Once the door was securely fastened, he began the work of sealing the gaps around it. Using the remaining mud, he carefully spread a layer around the edges of the door frame. Then, he began stacking stones to fill in the gaps around the frame. He worked slowly, placing each stone one by one, using mud to bind them together. The stones formed a solid barrier around the door, sealing any gaps and adding stability to the entire frame. He also paid attention to the bottom and top, adding stones and making sure they were completely enclosed. The layers of stone were carefully stacked one on top of the other, each stone meticulously placed to create a strong, secure structure. He took great care in aligning each layer, ensuring that the stones fit together tightly, without any gaps. The process was slow but precise, as he worked his way up from the base, building the stone walls around the door. With each layer, the wall grew sturdier, and the stones formed a solid, unyielding barrier. The mud between the stones acted as a natural adhesive, binding them together to create a durable, weather-resistant surface. As he worked, he made sure each stone was well positioned, ensuring the entire structure would be stable and secure. The work was meticulous, but as he finished, the door was fully integrated into the walls, with no gaps left, ensuring the home was secure and weatherproof. Inside the house, he also carefully used mud to rub the entire stone surface, creating an overall connection inside the house. Next, he set about weaving a mat from the vines for his bed. To make the process easier, he first constructed a sturdy wooden frame by securing wooden slats at the corners. This frame would serve as the foundation, holding the vines in place while he worked. He carefully tied long vine strands to each end of the frame, anchoring them securely. The vines were wrapped tightly around the ends of the frame, ensuring they were fastened in place. He made sure each knot was strong and firm, knowing that the foundation needed to be stable for the weaving process to be successful. He looped each vine strand up and down, weaving them over and under the main horizontal strands. The rhythm of the weaving was steady and deliberate, as he ensured that each vine was tightly woven together, creating a firm, flat surface. The rug began to take shape, the vines forming a densely woven surface that could be used as a natural, comfortable sleeping surface. He put it on his bed. In the courtyard, he decided to add a table to his design. He started by choosing a large, sturdy column to serve as the table legs, and he attached wooden slats to the top of the column, creating a sturdy base to support the tabletop. He drove the column straight into the ground, making sure it was firmly anchored and upright. Once the table legs were ready, he decided to dig a hole directly into the ground to safely insert the main post. After making sure the hole was the right size and depth, he placed the post into the hole, making sure it was completely vertical and stable. Next, he carefully cut several wooden planks to create the surface of the table. He arranged the planks side by side, ensuring they were evenly aligned. To connect the planks, he placed horizontal beams across them, drilled holes, and used wooden dowels to secure everything in place, creating a strong and stable table surface. With the tabletop assembled, he attached it to the vertical post, securing it tightly. To finish, he used his saw to trim and smooth the edges of the table, giving it a neat, polished appearance. He began by carefully digging a series of steps from the courtyard down to the ground below, creating a neat and functional path. Each step was carefully shaped to be wide enough for comfortable footing and evenly spaced to ensure a smooth transition from one level to the next. He carefully laid stones along the entrance of his home, creating a smooth, durable path that extended all the way to the staircase. After completing the stone path, he set out to gather fresh green grass mats from the nearby area. Once he had collected enough, he spread the grass over the courtyard, covering the ground in a lush, vibrant green blanket. He carefully arranged the mats to ensure they covered every inch of the space, from the yard to the steps, transforming the entire area into a serene, natural oasis. The grass added a soft, refreshing touch to the surroundings, making the path and courtyard feel more inviting and harmonious with the nature around him. After the house was completed, he decided to make a water filter from bamboo drums. Bamboo tubes are clean and sturdy, ideal for carrying water while filtering. For the filter core, he used natural materials available in the surrounding environment. He collected pieces of charcoal, stones, and clay, knowing that these materials would help purify the water. This simple yet effective water filter allows him to ensure a clean water supply, utilize the natural resources around him, and demonstrate his resourcefulness in creating a sustainable living environment. Now he just has to wait for his clean water. Now his home is complete. Thank you all for joining him on this exciting journey. If you enjoyed the experience, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so you won't miss any of the upcoming videos. Goodbye for now, and see you in the next one.